Recently, you might have been hearing a fair amount about Strech, or STRC, which is essentially a dollar stable financial instrument paying over 11.5% annually in monthly cash, backed by the largest Bitcoin treasury in the world, MicroStrategy. But this might sound a little bit too good to be true. So in this video, we're going to do three things. Explain exactly how it works, show you where it's going to break, which is something not many people are talking about, and explain that why, if you do hold MSTR, this is probably one of the most important things to pay attention on in the space right now. As we can see, STRC has recently become the largest preferred in the world at a massive 8.5 billion. And what we can see is raised this amount in such a quick period of time in just around 9 months, which is 5.5 times faster than Strategy's first $8.4 billion into Bitcoin. So clearly there is a huge amount of interest in this product. But exactly what it is. So as we said, this is practically a stable coin aiming to hover at around $100. Now we'll get into the mechanisms specifically a little bit later, but before we really understand what Strech is, we kind of need to understand what strategy has built here, because STRC or Strech doesn't exist in isolation. Now, this is an image from Strategy and Sailor themselves, but I thought I could do a little bit better. So here we can see the full list of different products offered by Strategy. And at the very top of this structure, we have the convertible notes, around $8.25 billion of debt maturing between 2028 and 2032. Near zero coupon, so in any liquidation scenario, these get paid first. No exceptions. And then next comes STRF or Strife, which is a fixed 10% perpetual preferred, which is cumulative, meaning if Strategy misses a payment, it accrues and must be paid later. But it is cash only, so no equity upside whatsoever. And third, which is what we're really talking about today, is STRC or Strech. And this is a variable rate, which is currently around 11.5% of monthly cash payments, currently around $8.45 billion in outstanding size. So obviously this is what we're going to be talking about most, but there's actually other products beneath this as well. We have STRK, which is Strike, fixed 8% cumulative, but with equity upside. So it actually converts into MSTR common shares at around 1,000, well, at exactly $1,000 per share price. And then we have STRD or Stride beneath that, which is fixed 10% non-cumulative, meaning if Strategy misses a payment, then it's gone forever. And then at the very bottom here, we have the MSTR common stock, which is the last to be paid, which gives us all the upside by actually holding the underlying stock, but unfortunately all of the downside with no dividend either. So in total, there are around $21.8 billion in senior claims sitting ahead of common stockholders. So that's the structural reality underlying the company right now. And what we can see as of right now, as I film this on Sunday, the 26th of April, MSTR or Strategy currently hold 815,061 Bitcoin. But it wasn't so easy to get here. For the past few years, we've not had all of these different financial instruments. If we actually look at the MSTR share price here, we can see obviously it's gone pretty exponential since their first Bitcoin acquisition in August of 2020. But a vast majority of this acquisition was done via dilution of these shares. So we can see here, this is looking at the total common shares outstanding, and we can see it actually decreased in Q3 of 2020 to around 72.53 million. Now, this TradingView data is a little bit outdated, but we can see here to actually fund all of this Bitcoin accumulation, go up to the shares here, about 348 million shares outstanding for MSTR. So that's around a 5x dilution, meaning that at the current MSTR price, if there was no dilution, we were still at the same shares outstanding that we were in about 6 years ago, then the price would be 5 times higher than we are today. Now, MSTR bulls and Sailor himself will argue that this isn't necessarily a terrible thing, given the fact that we're seeing the Bitcoin yield increasing, meaning the actual amount of Satoshis per share you hold has been rising. But this hasn't always been the case, and it does fluctuate. So these new products actually allow other routes that MSTR and Sailor can take to actually raise capital to accumulate Bitcoin without considerably more dilution of MSTR shares. And we can see, along with this nifty MSTR dashboard that they provide on the site, but I mean, if you want to see the historic values as well, I'd definitely recommend checking out bitcoinmagazinepro.com. They also have this very nice STRC dashboard as well, which gives us all of the details that we need to know since its launch in July 2025. And the design intent of STRC is simple: to anchor the price near $100 and pay a variable dividend that adjusts monthly to keep it there. And the mechanism works like this. If we just go back to TradingView, what we can see is if we look at this 30-day volume-weighted average price, if this orange line here falls beneath $95, the board can raise the dividend rate by 50 basis points or even more. And if it trades above $101, they can cut it. So these adjustments happen typically in 25 basis point increments. And since launch, this rate has actually been adjusted 7 times, all upward, rising from 9% to the current 11.5%. And we can see recently this has been really stable, staying very close to around this $99, $100 level. If I just take it off a logarithmic scale, you can really see how stable this has become. But if we just go back to the dashboard here, we can see that this volatility over the past 30 days is sitting at 2.9%, and the Sharpe ratio is currently around 2.73, but it actually peaked significantly higher than this at around 4.53 just a few weeks ago. And as we can see, the correlation to the S&P is only around 37%, and the trading volume is at nearly $218 million. There is such significant interest for this product. And that's mainly due to the fact that it is providing such uncorrelated, seemingly risk-free return. So this chart here shows us the Sharpe ratio comparison, and currently it is 2.73, but for this graph I use the peak of around 4.53. We can see it's considerably higher than that of gold, Google, Bitcoin, Nvidia, the S&P 500, or even other existing fixed income products like investment-grade corporate bonds. But you may be wondering, where does this yield actually come from, this 11.5% dividend? Good question, and I think this is something many people are actually overlooking. First and by far the largest is the STRC share issuance ATM, or at the market offering program. Strategy continuously offers new STRC shares to raise cash, which it then uses to fund dividends. Secondly, we have the USD cash reserve, which is currently sitting at multiple billion dollars of cash. And third, a fairly minor contribution, if we're being honest, is the legacy software business, generating around $320 million annually. And if we go to this chart here, what we can see is the total annual obligation across all preferred series plus debt interest is approximately $1.489 billion per year. But this does seem to be rising, especially considering STRC alone accounts for roughly $980 million. But we'll come back to this chart in a second. If we go over here, what we can see is this is why it's really bullish for people holding MSTR, because when Strategy raises money by issuing new STRC shares and does not issue any new MSTR shares, it doesn't dilute the common stockholders. So the capital raise goes directly into Bitcoin, which increases the Bitcoin per MSTR share metric. So what we can do is take into account the current NAV premium, or net asset value premium, which is currently around 1.25, looking at the enterprise value of MSTR or Strategy, and then roughly figure out at different Bitcoin prices and different premiums where the MSTR share price could go, assuming no future dilution. So for example, if Bitcoin were to hit $150,000 and the MSTR net asset value premium were to reach a value of 2, which is pretty conservative, because if we go back here to what we hit just in the most recent cycle, we hit values of over 3. Now this all sounds great, but let's actually do the stress test to see where maybe there could be cracks in the system. So what we can see at the current Bitcoin price of approximately $78,000, their current Bitcoin stack is worth around $63.6 billion. And divided by the $1.489 billion annual obligation, you get 42.7 years of full coverage. But this would require them to actually liquidate their Bitcoin portfolio, which almost certainly they are not going to be doing. In actuality, if we look at how much they actually do have to cover, what we can see is it's currently only around 18 months of full coverage via these cash reserves. Now, a lot of people are saying that, well, that's not really going to be too much of a problem as long as Bitcoin grows by about 2% a year, and historically the compounded annual growth rate has been considerably higher than this, then MSTR and STRC will constantly raise enough capital to pay off these obligations. However, I want to state that this is pretty wrong actually, because Bitcoin appreciation doesn't generate cash. You cannot pay these dividends just due to the fact that the treasury itself is increasing in value. Sure, it might increase the confidence, which might raise more capital, but this isn't necessarily putting more cash into the system. What it does mean, however, is if Bitcoin appreciates at or above 2.34% annually, then Strategy's balance sheet grows faster than its obligation. So investor confidence will likely increase, or at least at the very minimum, hold, and STRC will stay near $100, allowing the ATM window to stay open as new capital flows in. But ultimately, the risk of this product is real. It's not completely a risk-free system. Anyone who tells you otherwise is probably trying to sell you something. The first thing you need to understand is the potential amplification of this product. The current amplification ratio sits at 35%. And what this means in practice is for every $100 of Bitcoin Strategy holds, $35 is already committed to senior claimants before MSTR common stockholders see a cent. And if Bitcoin drops 35% from here, the entire portfolio goes from about 63.5 billion down to around 41 billion. Now, these senior claims stay fixed. MSTR common equity compresses from roughly 42 billion to around 19 billion. A 35% Bitcoin drop would wipe approximately 54% of common equity value. And here is where the tension is embedded in the structure. Every new STRC share issued to fund Bitcoin purchases grows the preferred stack, pushing this amplification higher. STRC is simultaneously bullish for MSTR via BTC yield and increases the leverage ratio that makes drawdowns much more painful for common stock holders. So let's walk the bear case flywheel scenario through, and it starts with Bitcoin falling significantly. Specifically, if we see the MNAV approach or decrease beneath a valuation of 1, which would likely result in STRC trading below its $95 level for a sustained period, which would result in the dividend rate mechanism kicking in, but the at-the-money offerings become considerably less attractive. And if confidence deteriorates and STRC stays below 95, then Strategy can't effectively raise new capital to buy Bitcoin or even pay its dividends. And at that point, Strategy falls back onto the $2.25 billion USD reserve, which gives them around, well, as we said earlier, about a year and a half on the runway, but that's not a huge amount of time. And after that amount of time, if there's no other means of raising sufficient capital to pay these dividends, then Strategy has to sell some Bitcoin to fund operations, which puts downward pressure on the very assets sustaining the structure of itself, or restructure these financial instruments. And there's also a legal point worth flagging. STRC is backed by Strategy's general preferred claim on residual assets, which sounds confusing, but essentially it means that it's not actually backed by real Bitcoin. You do not have a direct claim to any Bitcoin by holding STRC. You have a preferred claim ahead of common in a scenario where the company's assets are distributed, but these are two very different things. So finally, this raises the question of, well, is STRC a Ponzi scheme? Because this does come up constantly, and the honest answer is, in a way, yes. STRC holders are paid primarily by capital flowing in from new STRC buyers. The cash mechanics are structurally identical to a Ponzi scheme, but the critical distinction, and this is the entire argument, is that every dollar raise is deployed into Bitcoin, a real and independently traded asset with a fixed supply. And we also have to keep into consideration that this is a product which is ever changing. We can see in just a few days' time, there's actually going to be a vote to see if STRC dividends should become semi-monthly, meaning that you'll actually be paid out twice a month. Ultimately, the real risk for STRC holders is not dividend coverage, because the maths of that are fairly robust. The real risk is the net asset value premium for MSTR. As long as MSTR trades above 1.0 net asset value, then the ATM window stays open, which keeps capital flowing and the machine keeps working. But if this premium collapses and if sentiment turns and MSTR trades beneath this Bitcoin net asset value level, then the funding mechanism weakens significantly. So is STRC too good to be true? Well, the answer depends entirely on what you believe about Bitcoin long term. If you believe Bitcoin appreciates meaningfully from here, then STRC converts that conviction into monthly income with pretty extraordinary risk-adjusted characteristics. But if you don't believe that Bitcoin is going to go up indefinitely, forever, then the entire structure of STRC and potentially MSTR with it eventually will face some serious stress tests. But of course, if you would like to know more about STRC and strategy, then do visit bitcoinmagazinepro.com, where we've recently released a full guide going over STRC and how it works in layman terms, with some nice visuals giving you some good understanding to help you learn more about these financial instruments. And along with that, check out everything else we have on Bitcoin Magazine Pro, the treasury data covering not just MSTR, but all of the Bitcoin treasury companies as well, and all the other macroeconomic portfolio and on-chain data that we've shown for many, many years to hundreds of thousands of readers every single month. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.